So yesterday I recreated Space Invaders in the Godot game engine. My version isn't really fun, and I don't want people to think that I'm a bad game dev, so I need to fix it up. But also I only have an hour to do it. Wish me luck. So the first thing I wanted to do was plan all the features I wanted to add, such as movement for the enemies, score, difficulty, waves, and combos. I listed it all in Google Keep and then got to work. To start, I created a new script in Godot. I gave it a few variables: player X, score, kills, and difficulty. I then set the variables up to be accessible from any script in the game. This forms the foundation for all the features I listed. I then simply added some movement because it was pretty easy to add and I knew it wouldn't take long, and there were very few bugs, though one did require me to redesign how the enemies moved because they would shoot from their initial position even though they weren't in that position anymore. I started with score and combos. When an enemy dies, it calculates 10 times the current kills variable plus 10 and adds that to the score variable. It also adds 1 to the kills variable. But what does the system do? Well, the kills variable represents your combo. The 10 times is simply to make the score bigger, 500 instead of 50, 1000 instead of 100, and so on. The reason I added a plus 10 is that when you have no kills, 10 times 0 equals 0, so the plus 10 makes the minimum score be 10. But currently, there's no actual combos because they don't reset. I added some code to the bullet that resets the combo if it leaves the play area, because that means it missed all the enemies. I also made it reset combos when it hits a block, because that means you didn't hit any enemies. This way we have a simple combo system, which I was really happy with. I also wanted to add text pop-up saying how many points you got when you kill an enemy. It was pretty simple to add this, and now when an enemy dies, a number takes its place for 3 seconds. I imported a font from Into the Chasm, and I'm very happy with it because it's very retro. So now I needed to add a difficulty system. I made the default difficulty be 1 and the maximum be 5. In the alien's code, the chance of it firing each frame is modified by the score. A difficulty of 5 makes them shoot twice as often. This was pretty simple, but I was running low on time, so I immediately started on the wave system. The first thing I did for the waves was adding some text mid-screen to tell the player what wave it would be next. I hid the text by default, and you'll see why soon, but first I made a function that detects if all the enemies are dead. If they are, it adds 1 to the difficulty variable and sets the player X variable to the player's current position. Then it just resets the scene. When it resets, it immediately places the player where they were before, so it looks just like a normal transition between 2 separate scenes. I changed it to wait 3 seconds before the new wave to appear so that the player can see the text announcing a new wave and know what wave they're up to. The final few things to do were pretty simple. I named the game Alien Attack because I can't use the name Space Invaders, made a menu in a dead scene, and got to playing. It was pretty fun and challenging, and I'll be releasing the final version soon, but first I have to do bug fixes and lots of playtesting. I also don't know how Space Invaders handles the enemies touching the walls, or touching the player, or touching the bottom of the screen, so I'll probably just make the player die if the enemies get low enough, which means you have to balance getting a good combo and actually making it in time. That's it for this video. If you enjoyed, please subscribe.